Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do 5 mini problems. I'll just do one and show you the answers for the rest. I can change that to function notation, so f of -2 equals -2 squared plus 2 times -2 minus 3. Basically all I did there was for every x value, I'm substituting in a -2. Don't forget to use the order of operations, PEMDAS. So here I have -2 squared, which is how much cost? -2 times -2 is +4. 2 times -2. And I have the -3. I normally work down, but right now I'm just doing it. Class, what's 4 minus 4? And 0 minus 3. Raise your hand if you got -3. If I just put that in my calculator, great thing about having a graphing calculator, put in my function, go to my table, put in my x values, and it will tell me the y values. So -3, -4, -3, 0, and 5. Okay. Raise your hand if you got those. If you're struggling with just finding those values, okay, do this. Do function notation for all 5 problems, right? I did it 1, you just do it for the 4 others, okay? Alright, so I got a table of values. Here's a great thing. I can go ahead and graph that. Gives me a visual. -2, 3. Left 2, down, -3. -1, -4. 0, -3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 0, and 2, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, I'm not too confident about the graph. Okay, I'm probably going to think it's something like this, but let's double check by our other numbers. Class, what is my A value? B value? And our C value. Okay, I'm just getting that from here. Our parabola opens how? How do you know it's up? A is positive. Okay, got that done. How do I find the vertex? Plug it in where? X equals -b over 2a. Class, what's our B value? And then 2 times our A value. 2 divided by 2 is, so opposite of 1 is -1. Raise your hand if you got -1. Okay. So this is your axis of symmetry. That is something that I asked you guys to graph. Okay. To find your vertex, well, this is your x value. Oh, look at that. Do we already have an x value that's -1, class? Yeah, what's our y value? -4. Put a check mark by it. Okay, let's get our graph. Let's get our graph. So I'm going to graph this in green here. I know that -1, -4 is my vertex. So there's my axis of symmetry. Let's graph that. That's helpful. So that is my axis of symmetry. X equals -1. Okay, that means I know that my vertex is going to be on there. I'm going to graph it going up. And I got to go through those points. And the great thing about quadratics is, I don't know if you saw there's a pattern. Up 1, right 1. Right 2, then go up to the axis there. I'll go 3, and then I'll go all the way up there. It's symmetrical, right? Alright, let's review increasing and decreasing. Class, is it increasing on the right of the pink line or the left of the pink line? To the right. So this area right here, that is increasing. Class, on the x-axis, what number is that? It's -1. So at -1, I'm not including it, right? That's a parentheses. Remember, this is not an order pair. This is an order pair. This is not. This is an interval notation. And what's the last thing I touch? The arrow. Do not look at where it's pointing. Just look at the x-axis. Arrow means, in this case, positive infinity. Always with infinity, you have what? Parentheses. So a big idea for increasing and decreasing is that it's talking about your domains, your x values, left to right. Okay? Class, that means this side is decreasing. Let's get colors, green. Okay, I'm going from left to right. What's the first thing I touch? Negative infinity. And where do I stop? That pink line, which is what? -1. Parentheses. Okay? So a couple of things. They should be the same number there. Okay? So this is going down the roller coaster, that's going up. Increasing, decreasing. You have to have a graph. Alright, let's do a last one, interval notation. Domain is talking about the x-axis, go left to right. Class, what's the first thing I touch? Arrow means what? Negative infinity. And what's the last thing I touch? Positive infinity. What does that mean, class? What numbers can I pick? All real numbers. That's abbreviated by the R. Remember, if you have this, 2 arrows, you're going to write this. You always write this for inequalities. You could pick any number, all numbers, all real numbers. Class, which direction is the range? Bottom to the top. Okay? Look at my pen. I'm not touching anything. Or disregard the pink line, right? I'm only worried about the green. I stop here. What number is that, class? That's -4. Are you paying attention? Remember, the range is the y values, the y-axis. You're not looking at that number. That's the x-axis. So when I'm coming up here, try to disregard the axis of symmetry and the x, and you're just focusing on the y number line. So that's -4. And I'm going to include that number. And what's the last thing I touch, class? Positive infinity. Okay. Let's do the inequality. I think this is the hardest one. I think. Range refers to which axis, class? The y-axis. What number are we starting with? -4 on the green. And on the y-axis, the y number line, are the numbers getting smaller or bigger? Bigger. And you guys already know it's going to be equals because you're including it. Closed circle. This would be less than if the graph was what? Opening down.